Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Thomas
This is Mary Thomas
of Thomas and Thomas PC, also known
the
as,
Sales Tax Sisters.
and we are talking again about audits.
And this is a big don't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you send that ugly letter. Don't you do it. Don't you send that ugly letter. And the reason I'm saying that is that we know there are times when you're getting audited and you can be upset about what's going on. It usually happens at the end of the audit when you get some number. Hopefully it's not a surprise. If you've been paying attention to the other videos in this series, you've been on it as it relates to knowing what the auditor's seeing and what they're scheduling so that you can head some of that off at the pass. But sometimes people don't. And your boss or somebody will get an ugly bill or something they weren't expecting, and then they start writing letters. And I mean ugly letters to the controller or their congressman I've seen a lot of stuff over the years, and
That would make your hair stand on end.
And the thing about it is that if you want to write an ugly letter, write it and then tear it up. Don't put a stamp on it. Don't send it anywhere, because what's going to happen is that you're going to make somebody mad.
And we're gonna keep it real with you. When those letters go out, those poison pen letters that you've sent to people, they just don't go into, a little file somewhere that no one looks at.
People see it.
Yes.
And if you have been unreasonable, if you have been overly emotional because you are overwrought about what this audit potentially means to you, you can close some doors. There was a quote I heard years ago by Kenny Rogers when he said, and it's a basic thought that most people know, is that you never know what doors close to you, what opportunities you never get presented because somebody doesn't like you.
Exactly.
The thing about it is that this process is neutral. It's very rare that you go in and somebody's just against you. They just don't like you. That's very, very, very rare.
It can happen.
Yeah,
but it's rare.
But you can make it. You can make it happen.
That's
you
right.
can make it personal if you go around and you are a bull in a china shop. Thing about it is that if you don't like the result, if you don't think it's right,
you have options.
You have options
that do not involve setting everyone's back up at the controller's office. When you send letters basically saying that the supervisor is dumb, the auditor is dumb, their lawyers are dumb, that is not going to be good. That does not guarantee you a very receptive audience.
No, the best thing you can do when something is going on with you is that have your documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Have your, these are the invoices. These are the underlying invoices. This is what this transaction was. Number one, this happens all the time. You get the invoice. You already paid tax on it.
Mm-hmm.
You already accrued tax on it. It just falls off.
Yeah.
Or you correct a misimpression of what the fact pattern is.
Yes.
And you can show that it's since it's something that's exempt. You finally get the exemption certificates or the resale certificates, and you get them timely because there's a deadline attached to that.
Yes.
And you stay open with what's on here. Those numbers can start coming down, and you can get it somewhere to where it is something that you can actually deal with.
The big thing, I think, is try to focus on what you can do to get your deficiency as low as possible. And verbally attacking the intelligence of the controller's office employees is not something that is going to help you get your deficiency lower.
It's not propelling you forward.
No.
And the benefit of the doubt or any aid that you might have gotten otherwise, because controllers employees, they're people. When you call up, there are some people that, they're used to dealing with cheats and they may not be the most patient. But for the most part, a lot of people, they understand when you say, you know what, I made a mistake. It's my bad, but I can't pay all this right now. Can we come up with a payment plan? People do that all the time. what you really want to do is you want to foster a really good relationship, as good as you can, with the controller's office, with any taxing authority, so that when you do make mistakes, when something does go off the rails, you'll get the benefit of the doubt, or at least you'll get treated like everybody else.
And sometimes the old saying is true, you get a little bit more with honey
than you do with vinegar. Just be very careful. And when I say this, it's not just about you writing an ugly letter. Don't let your employees write one. Don't let any third party representing you write one. Those things live forever.
We know, we've seen it.
But there is one proviso on this that I do want to say, and that is some taxing authorities will send you a request for you to give them feedback on how your audit went.
Exactly.
Be honest about how your audit went.
Yes.
Be honest about it, because that's something that helps them improve what's going on. And you can be as honest as you want, as long as so you be honest, but you be professional.
Exactly.
As long as you can say, you know what, this I didn't care for my auditor because they didn't communicate with me clearly. That's something that is valuable feedback. Or I didn't know when they were coming out, they weren't responsive. Whatever it is, as long as you don't put something down like, I just didn't like them. It's kind of like an Amazon review, where somebody will do the 1 star, and then they'll do the 1 star, and then they'll say something crazy like, I gave it 1 star because the color didn't look good on me.
Can't do anything.
Can't do anything with that. It's like, okay, what? Why didn't it look good on you? Do you have red hair? What's the deal? Not that red hair people don't look good, because y'all do. But I think that's it for this particular topic. What we want to do is we want to make it so you really don't step in any don'ts. Don't send it. It's something that you learn. It's something that I learned. I will date myself in junior high. Don't write notes. Don't write notes.
Don't write the ugly down.
Don't write the ugly note down. Don't. And now that we're in the technological era, don't post ugly stuff either. Just don't, because it just has this way of just coming back.
Boomeranging it back on you.
And there are times when you do ask for grace from taxing authorities. You may ask for a waiver of penalty. You may ask for a waiver of interest. Now, interest is hard to get, but sometimes people do get it. You may have to ask for extra time on something.
Because of something on your end. You never know.
Yeah. So you want to be in a situation where you're treated professionally, you're treated with respect, you're responsive, and there are times when an auditor will go to bat for you. Exactly. And we've experienced that, where they're hitting up on a deadline and their supervisor's saying, hey, you need to turn this in. And they know something's going on with the taxpayer, and they'll say, you know what, this taxpayer is really going through something. I'm going to have you sign a statute waiver to give you a little bit more time, and they'll go to bat for you. Don't burn your bridges.
No.
And don't treat anyone in any way that you would not want to be treated, or in a way that later on may manifest itself in terms of the hammer being put down on you because you said something or you did something
that was out of order.
And it was unnecessary.
Exactly.
So with that, I think we have exhausted this topic. So your big takeaway, don't you mail an ugly note. If you just got the right one, write it and burn it, but don't send it out.
And with that, thanks so much for clicking on the video. If you liked it, please thumb us up. Also, we'd love it if you subscribed and hit the notification bell so you'll know all about when we upload new things. So have a great day, everyone, and we will see you soon.
Yes. Bye.